Hi, this is Russ Moan from InPlay, and I'm here with Aiden, also from InPlay, and we're at the RFID Journal Live show in Florida. And we're sitting down just to talk about InPlay's NanoBeacon technology. And we're sitting in front of the software, the NanoBeacon config tool, running on a PC here. And yeah, I just have some questions for Aiden about it. So,
of course.
Just big picture, what is this NanoBeacon config tool?
So the NanoBeacon config tool is a way that you can configure our NanoBeacon without the need of software. So our NanoBeacon is completely software free, programming free, and all of the configuration a customer would need is all available in our PC GUI here. So all the settings you would need are right available here in the tool.
So instead of writing firmware in C and compiling it into some binary file and loading it into memory, this takes the place of all of that, correct?
Yes, correct. So anything you need to do, you can just load up the tool and make it nice and easy to work. It's very simple to learn. You can learn it in a day and just have something running.
Wow, that's really neat. You can see, yeah, it's all graphical here. It's all graphical user interface. So how would this work for a typical customer that wants to do a particular beacon application, let's say to do some asset tracking? What would be their design process?
Sure, yeah. So as soon as you learn in the config tool and you've connected to the dev kit here, we have our options in our advertising sets, so we have up to 3. You can go ahead and hit the edit button and you're brought into this menu where you can pick, say, an iBeacon, Eddystone, or a custom data format. And so for asset tracking, for example, you might just be beaconing out an ID, for example. So that could just be iBeacon or your own custom ID that you can enter in. So that could be some static string, or from our drop-down menu, we have all of our sensor options and internal registers available, which includes our customer product ID. You can go ahead and add that on, change its length, encrypt it if need be, and the customer is ready to go. Run in RAM to test, and if you realize your configuration isn't how you want, all you have to do is reset the board, change something, and you can run in RAM again without having to burn the chip.
So after the configuration is running as desired, it's behaving as they want, this process of burning into the chip, what does that mean?
Yeah, so we are a one-time program only. We have an eFuse memory. So once you hit the burn button, it is going to go ahead and burn the eFuse, which is irreversible. So this is why we have the run in RAM option, which is talking through the chip with the UART to the PC to basically test out the configuration file before you actually burn it, and you'd use it in an actual application.
So once it gets burned into RAM, that chip, as soon as it's turned on, is just going to behave as the customer wanted, right?
Yes, exactly. It will work exactly as you need it when you're testing it to run in RAM.
Wow, that's
all
cool.
You need to do is power it on.
So what sort of platforms are supported for this NanoBeacon config tool?
Yeah, so the PC GUI is available on Linux, Windows, and Mac OS. So pretty much anything you need.
That's awesome. And is there a app to work with receivers or handheld devices to?
Yes, absolutely. So we have here my iPhone, and this is our NanoBeacon app here. This is available on iPhone and Android. And it can work as a generic sniffing app, so you can go ahead and look through all of the different beacons that are here in the RFID show. So of course, there's many. And it has special configurations to work with our PC GUI specifically. So for example, you can load in a configuration using the QR code here. Take a picture, and it would load in, and you can see the settings that I've loaded in. And you can use this to track and you can filter by only the one that matches your configuration exactly. So you can go ahead and ignore all the other ones. And see, there's my custom beacon that I configured for us here.
So can you give some examples of what some of InPlay's customers are starting to do with these NanoBeacon chips?
Yeah, absolutely. So from Minu, we have a dollar tag, which is revolutionary. It's powered by a coin cell battery, and it can go ahead and last months depending on how they configure it. And again, this is a coin cell battery, so it's a fully disposable dollar tag none other like it on the market. And we have similar such devices, say from Moco, this is another one of their tags, and from Tag and Track also, doing something similar. We also have the ability to talk to sensors. So available on the PC GUI is the I2C settings, ADC, anything you want to do with a GPIO. Say you have a falling edge, rising edge coming in, you want to trigger an event, have an advertising set go out on a trigger, one-wire sensor control, all sorts of stuff that you can talk to. So we have sensors. We work with, say, our partner Ferrotech, which has a body temperature sensor for a pig, all sorts of different applications like that.
I see there's an ADC tab as well, so that would be interfacing to analog data from sensors as well,
Yes, exactly.
Right? Okay,
So if something's coming in with a voltage.
For I2C interfaces, you have some digital interfaces in terms of is it the pulse counting, correct?
Yes, that's right.
The ADC as well. That's really neat. So what sort of ranges are achieved with the NanoBeacon? What sort of, in terms of the wireless range, what's expected? What are the customers doing?
Yeah, so for range, we have the ability to change the transmit power level. So by default it is at 0. With that you can see 30, 60 feet depending on your environments. You can boost that all the way up to 5. With a power amplifier, of course, you can go higher. And with 5 you can see in a line of sight test hundreds of feet maybe. We have one of our partners which is making a kilometer tag line of sight, and that's powered by a coin cell. That's using a power amplifier with the TX power levels at max.
So
also.
a full kilometer.
Yes, full kilometer
from a coin
line of
cell.
sight by a coin cell. Yes.
Wow, that's really neat. Yeah, that's all the questions I have for you right now. Thank you.
Yes. Thanks, Josh.